What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king. Welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we began to head north onto Route 110. Also had a battle with May, and we are just about done with this route. But before we go any further, I would like to make amends because I unfortunately made a mistake talking about, or neglecting, excuse me, to talk about a Pokemon that can be found on this route, which is Oddish. Now, I think I just forgot about Oddish because it's not a new Pokemon. We've encountered it back in Generation 1. But yes, you can catch Oddish around here if you desperately want a decent grass poison type. Although, honestly, I mean, I really wouldn't recommend. I'm not saying Oddish is bad. Like, it eventually evolves into Vileplume, which is a very good Pokemon. It's just, it's not necessarily like my style or anything. Like, it's okay. I mean, especially with some of the poison moves that you can access in this game, it's pretty decent. But I don't know. I wouldn't highly recommend getting one right off of the bat if I were you. So yeah, I mean, I guess if you desperately, I mean, you just really freaking love Vileplume. Like, I guess the one thing is, okay, yes, you can eventually evolve it into, Blossom instead once you get your hands on a Sunstone, which there is a point in the game later where you will be able to get one. So I guess there is that, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that matter. So we're going to now start with this battle here with a bunch of Tentacle. Level 11, though, really, that's kind of a waste of my time. Now, I knew this was going to be a bunch of water types, so I decided to switch out Ghidorah. Even though there's just going to be a bunch of Tentacle, which really aren't all that consequential, if I'm being completely honest. And then we're going to be making it to Mauville City, which, oh gosh, there is going to be some hardcore stalling before I go. Before we take on the gym there, I can promise you that. We also got our first encounter with Wilmer here, which is pretty neat. It's actually going to give us a substantial amount of experience. Wilmer has a pretty high XP yield, which is pretty cool. Now, if you're wondering what XP yield is, there is an intrinsic stat in every single Pokemon that it's basically a value of how much experience you get from defeating each Pokemon relative to its level. And Wilmer it's pretty high, but like the absolute highest XP yield in the game, for instance, is Blissey. So it was a very common tactic back in these days, was to get entire teams of like 6 Blissey, save them to a secret base, which you could do that to then rebattle the team later, and then just fight them for a crap ton of experience, which is really easy to do because their physical defense stat was incredibly low. So I should have gotten rid of Tackle, not Leer. That was dumb. Whatever. I mean, it's not like we're gonna be replacing Quick Attack pretty soon anyway. But yeah, Wilmer has a pretty high experience yield, so that's good to know if you ever encounter one. And they're also not that hard to take care of because they're really their only like super good stat is their health, which doesn't really mean a whole lot because it just means they have more HP. It doesn't really decrease the severity of attacks all that much. It does, however, boost like the powers of like certain HP-based moves, but that's about it. Okay, so now if we head up here, we're going to grab a few Nanab berries, which these are just Pokeblock exclusive berries. They don't really have any sort of status effect to them. I do believe, I think they're that way. They might be, you know, I'm actually going to check on that real quick. I know they don't have like a straight status effect, but they might be if I remember. Let's see. Oh, no, they are Pokemon. Okay, there is a type of berry that you can get in this game that will affect a Pokemon's happiness, decrease it essentially, but also make like a stat stronger that you can get at some point. So that's pretty cool at least, but not what I was thinking of. Those will be found much later. Okay, we have officially made it to Mauville City, everybody, which is drastically different from the way it looks in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I will talk about those games at some point. Again, I want to wait for a chance to when I actually don't have anything else to talk about. So, actually, probably in this episode. Later, you'll see. Okay, so we're going to talk to this lady. Now, remember that harbor mail that I went back and got in Slateport? You're going to want to bring it to this lady, and if you do, she'll give you a coin case, which you can then take over to the game corner, which is just, well, around the corner. It's just over there. We are not going to be heading inside, however, though. You can get some TMs and Pokemon there, but we're not going to be doing anything in the game corner at the moment, just because it's kind of a waste of time. But you can get some good TMs. Really, your best bet, though, if you're not going to sit here and gamble all day, you know, quote-unquote gamble, is to just buy coins and then use those to buy the TMs eventually, or Pokemon that are, I don't think it's actually Pokemon in this game. I think it's just TMs and then secret base items, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think you can actually get Pokemon Generation 3. But anyway, moving on to this guy will be able to give us the HM Rock Smash, which we are, of course, going to teach straight away to Ziggy. Of course, unfortunately, we cannot use the Rock Smash HM because we have not yet beaten the gym leader here in Mauville, and we probably won't for at least a little bit because I need to get my Pokemon up a little stronger before we're actually ready for that, just because I'm still working on making Raiju and Raiju and Ghidorah stronger, so once they're all kind of up to snuff, then I will worry about jumping on into this next gym. Not to say that it's that difficult, it's just not really that easy either. In fact, this is probably one of the more difficult gyms right next to Brawley. After this, it just gets easier from here. Okay, so let's actually switch Ghidorah back to the first slot. And then we're going to head on up this way. And over here, we have the cycling shop. Let's talk to this guy. Well, what do we have here? A most energetic customer. Me? You may call me Rydell. I'm the owner of this cycle shop. Your running shoes, they're awfully filthy. Did you come from far away? Yes. You're saying that you came all this way from Little Root. My goodness, that's ridiculously far. If you had one of my bikes, you could go anywhere easily while feeling the gentle caress of the wind. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a bike. Oh, wait a second. I forgot to tell you there are two kinds of bikes. There's the mock bike and the acro bike. The mock bike is for cyclists who want to feel the wind with their bodies, and an acro bike is for those who prefer technical rides. I'm a real sweetheart, so you can have whichever one you like. Which will you choose? Mock. We are absolutely picking the mock. First of all, because we actually need this bike in Granite Cave, which we are going to be going back to relatively soon. But also because it's just objectively better. It's faster. The acro bike, I think, is like the same speed as running speed, if I'm not mistaken. It's also in key items. What am I doing? And the mock bike is much quicker. Granted, it is harder to control, but it is just objectively better. As you can see, mock bike moves like so much faster. Again, harder to control, but it's so much quicker. So much of a quicker way of getting around. Same rules apply, though, with mock bike and running, so you can't really duck past trainers with the mock bike all that much. But yeah, mock bike is going to be the one that you're probably going to end up using the most in this game. Okay, so then we have the Pokemon Center, which actually I think there is something in here that is of note, which is this guy. Now, this guy is interesting. He is another feature of, all of the little connection-based features that you could trade with your friends. And this guy will have different hair depending on your save file, different colored hair, excuse me. And depending on the color of his hair will depend on the type of character that he is. In this one, I have the pink hair, which is the storyteller. I'll tell you the tales of legendary trainers. Will you hear my tale? Yes. But I know of no legendary trainers, hence I know no tales. Where does one find a trainer worthy of legendary tale? Are you a trainer? Then tell me, have you had any tales that are even remotely legendary? You can say, yes. What's that? You jump down ledges 20 times? That is indeed magnificent. It's the birth of a new legend. So basically, he has that stat. Now, if I were to then mix my data with somebody else through a link cable, he would then receive my character, the storyteller, and I would receive whatever character is on their file. That character will then go into their game, and if they talk to him, will tell us the tale of us and how we jumped down 20 ledges. Again, another one of those really silly, dumb little things that they just tried to make, they tried to make connecting all, sorts of unique in Generation 3. So that's why he's added in there. It really doesn't do all that much, though, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, there's that. Now we're going to move on up here, and look who it is! It's Wally! Uncle, please, I want to challenge this gym and see how much better I've become. Please, may I, please? Now, hold on, Wally. Since you started living with Pokemon, you have grown quite a lot stronger. But don't you think you're pushing it to suddenly challenge a gym? I'm not pushing it. If I combine forces with Ralts, we can beat anyone. Oh, hi, Levi. I've gotten a lot stronger since we met. I want you and my uncle to understand that. Please, will you have a battle with me? Oh, gee, okay. Okay, kid. Oh, here it goes. Okay, I'm going to feel really bad about this, but your Ralts is getting either 1 or 2 shot here. So, he's going to throw out his Ralts, and we are going to be using, I guess we'll use Metal Claw. Oh, double team. Okay, that actually might make this more difficult. I did not know that your Ralts had that. Please hit. Thank you. Let's see how much this does. Oh, no. Yeah, it was a one-shot. Oof. Yeah, those ellipses, yeah, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Didn't think you were going to have a chance in this gym, kid. Uncle, I'll go back to Verdant Turf. Thank you, Levi, thank you. Being a trainer is tough, isn't it? It's not enough to just have Pokemon and make them battle. That isn't what being a real trainer is about. Wally, there's no need to be so down on yourself. Why? What's keeping you from becoming stronger and stronger? Come on, let's go home. Everyone's waiting for you. And off they go to, well, Verdant Turf. It just dawned on me that you must be the trainer who kept an eye out for Wally when he caught his Pokemon. Why don't you visit us in Verdant Turf sometime? I'm sure Wally would enjoy it. And we will do just that in due time. we will also have another conversation with Scott. I was watching that match. You're friends with that big boy Wally, aren't you? He did not say big boy. I don't know why I read that in my mind, but I did. But you didn't hold back anything back and beat him impressively. Yeah, that's what a real Pokemon battle is all about. I idolize trainers like that. Trainers who are assholes to their friends. I'll be cheering for you. Oh, Scott, you're a turd. Okay, so, oh, man, we have so many decisions to make right now that are... This is probably the part of the game where I feel like it actually becomes legitimately the most tedious. Here's why. So we have this route. No, shut up! Oh, I hate this. I actually hate this about the Pokénav. It's the one thing I do not like. I was lucky, and I had my, my battery run out in my cartridge, which is nice because then when the battery runs out, trainers don't continue to call you throughout the game. It's probably the only feature I really, really hate now that it's back and I remember that that's a thing. Okay, so here on Route 117, there's actually a lot of trainers compacted into a tiny little route. Not to mention, a lot of them will add you to the Pokénav. It's actually a very good route for grinding, but much later. There is also more trainers off this direction. Also, now that we have acquired a bike, we can now head onto Cycling Road and face more trainers that way. On top of that, we can also head back to Granite Cave with our mock bike in tow. And you know what? That is what we are going to do. We're going to do that first. First things first. So I'm actually going to meet you guys off in Dewford. And that way we are going to finally be able to discard Ralts and then go from there. So I will meet you guys in Dewford in just a second. All right, and here we are, everybody. Moving on over to Route 106 and into Granite Cave. I am going to pop a repel immediately. And then we are going to get a move on through this cave and find ourselves a few new goodies now that we actually have a mock bike in tow. First things first, though, let's actually use Ralts' flash. Perfect. Thank you. And now that we can actually see where we're going, we can see right here that there is this muddy trail that we can make our way up. Now, we need to get a little bit of a running start. You need like a 2-step running start, and then you can make your way up here. First things first, we have this, which this allows us to get this item. But there is more further on. Now, first things first, you're going to want to, again, get another head start so you can cross these. And then get another running head start, go across that. As so, if you accidentally slow down in any way, you will fall through the floor and then end up on the floor below. So, let's see. I didn't mean to do that. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Okay, back up. Okay, so let's try this again. Hurry through. Oh, I messed up again. Let's try again. It keeps giving us chances, which is good. Also, I think there might... No, I don't think there's an item around here. Okay, back we go. Let's try one more time. There we go. Okay, managed to get it that time. Head down to these stairs. This should get us to a rare candy, as well as, I believe, another Everstone hidden in this gray rock right here. And that's it. That's everything that we can get here in Granite Cave now. So we are officially and entirely done with this dungeon, which is awesome. Can you even call it a dungeon? Just this cave, I suppose. So I will now meet you guys once again back in Mauville City, and we will... Well, actually, sorry. Not in Mauville City. I will meet you guys back at the start of Cycling Road, and we will be moving on from there in the next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Pokemon Emerald. I hope you all enjoyed it very much. I know this was a little bit of a short episode, but we have so much ground to cover, and the next couple episodes are going to, well, a lot of nothing is going to be happening except for battles for the next few episodes, so bear with me. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all then.